And welcome. We are so back. I'm Zigno Zag.
I'm Charlie Mercer.
And welcome to beautiful, sunny Seattle. Wow, what a gem of a day, Charlie. We're out here. How you feeling?
I am stoked. This is the Northwest Cup. We have the Seattle Cascades and the Seattle Tempest hosting the Oregon Steel and the Oregon Soar. This is an incredible opportunity to watch professional ultimate, particularly showcased in the Pacific Northwest. Like, we have two cities that love competing against each other, have an ongoing rivalry for years and years in all sorts of sports, and this is an amazing opportunity to get to watch the full breadth of what professional ultimate has to offer. We're going to start off with a 15-minute period under UFA rules with the Seattle Cascades playing against the Oregon Steel. And then we will have a 10-minute break, and we will move into our second period. We will play a 15-minute period under WL rules with the Seattle Tempest and the Oregon Soar facing off against each other. We will have a 10-minute break, and then we will have our last period, which will be a mixed period. So you will have a combined Tempest and Cascades roster facing off a combined Soar and Steel roster. And that period will last for 20 minutes and be using the WL rules. It's going to be such an incredible showcase of professional ultimate. Starting here on your screen, you see the coin toss happening between the Cascades and the Steel as we go into this game.
Yeah, Seattle-Portland, a historic rivalry here in the Northwest, the I-5 battle. And yeah, both these two organizations paired with each other. It's going to be a great day of ultimate. There's barely any wind. It's a little chilly, but the sun in the good spots will warm us up. But man, I'm just excited to be back. Interbay looks nice. Everything you just said, Charlie. This is going to be interesting, seeing these periods, how these teams come out, because these rosters aren't complete. Like, they're not going to be the rosters that we see like once the season actually starts, especially for the UFA.
Yeah, taking a look at the Steel roster, you know, there are definitely, like, having Knutson back with the Steel is going to make a huge difference. I'm excited to see what David Barham is going to do this year. Like, there's definitely talent here that's going to, like, hold the team together. And Lewis and Clark is at a college tournament. The University of Oregon is at a college tournament. Oregon State is at a college tournament. And so there's a lot of this roster that is not able to be here this weekend because of their college commitments. And so it is a pared down roster. And I think it's a really great opportunity for them, you know, for the Steel to show like, hey, we are returners. Like, what is this going to look like? There are, you know, they brought 14 people up here. In contrast, when we take a look at this Cascades roster, it's a totally different ballgame because it's hosted in Seattle, and much of the Cascades roster, there is not college players. A few are, but mostly not college players. It is much easier for these players to show up because it's in their backyard. And so the Cascades has a huge roster here today. Who are you excited to see on this Cascades roster facing off today?
Looking into his sophomore season, Langley Fitzpatrick, he's out here, he's energetic, he's ready. Spencer Lofink battled with injuries last year. He was a big deal when Seattle made their run two years ago, so he's back and healthy, and I'm excited to see how he comes out. Tommy Lynn, like, we're just so back, and there goes the first pull. It's hanging up. Caught in the center of the end zone. The steal. Connect downfield. Wolf. Good bump on the mark. Really possessing the ball here early.
I think with a roster, you know, a smaller roster, unforced errors is going to make a really big difference. You know, putting shots like that up, you know, it was a really great block, and you're going to run down the legs.
Ben Cass Mullet getting a hand on that one. Barham unable to come down with it at Seattle with the first break chance of the game. Ooh. Foul, 10 yards for Seattle. Alex Cabot walking it out.
I did like the bid attempt from Archer Gordon.
Got to make a play sometimes, you know. Thought about it.
First chance to see this D-line's offense for the 2026 UFA season. It's a it is a really exciting space to be in, right? Like this game both means everything and nothing. And so it allows players to sort of like, hey, is that open? Can I throw this bladey inside out space as a reset? Was that a good idea? Later in the season, someone's going to for sure say, no, don't do that. But right now, there's still a little bit more space.
For sure, you're feeling it out, all the work you did in the off season. Especially in a game like this, we'll see who really tries to dig in their new bag or plays it safe. Now the steal here. Letting it go. It's up in the air. Mick Nichols comes down with it. Wow.
Two defenders. That was a great grab by McNichols. You know, second offensive chance for Oregon. They were able to seal it this time. I think, you know, one of a similarity between both Oregon and Seattle is that both teams really like their deep game. They're interested in throwing a lot of hucks. And one of the distinctions between them is that Seattle was much more successful with their hucking game last year, right? Their huck completion percentage from 2025, Seattle was at 75% and the Steel were at 55%. And so that's it's a really big disparity, which you kind of almost saw here, right? The first huck attempt didn't work out. Second huck attempt did work out. So you're batting just over 50% on your huck attempts. And so the question is going to be, are they going to either rein it back in, or are they going to be able to execute on that deep game more successfully this year?
For sure. Lofink connects down the field. Garrett Martin. Letting it rip. Not enough grit.
75% completion rating for Seattle last year. 0% this year.
Oh, so far. Nice over the top, a little blade, and then followed up with a, whatever that was. Spencer Loafing now, picking it up. Seattle's second attempt here. Lee, as the cutters figure their situations out. Ooh, good run through block. Aiden Shu, Seattle product. A break attempt here for the steal. That shot was hanging out like no curfew. Looks like a gust of wind is picking up. I can see it in the flags. Shu connects. 2 hands for safety. 10 yards out. Shot goes up.
Let's go, D. Get it here. Get it here.
Another back and forth point we got here, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it is the game where you're getting the rust off. I think it is actually a huge gift to both these teams because it's not going to count to their UFA season. And so both of these teams are getting the opportunity. You know, they've been grinding against each other, building up that momentum, and now they get to play together against somebody else. You know, both teams, like both coaches were talking. Ooh, Cody Smart putting it up.
Wow. Good bump there.
That was a phenomenal bid by both players.
Will McDonald unable to bring it down. The steal with another chance to break here. With a chance to steal it. Sorry.
Ooh, that was good.
Sorry. I got to get it out early, you know?
Or keep them coming.
Yeah. We're also in preseason.
But I think that what you're seeing with these teams is, you know, they are excited to have the chance to play together, and also you have the nerves of playing in a professional setting. You're like getting the rust off, and so some of that is happening now, which will benefit them when they're playing in the games that are going to count toward the UFA, and that is really a gift. Oh.
Brendan Bogle got it back for Seattle. Has it now. Gives it to Loafing on the doorstep. Who's home? Garrett Martin. I go this way, you go that way. Seattle answers.
Both teams showing that they are not confidently able to convert on their first possession for their offensive line.
Resiliency. Early.
You know, I think it is noteworthy, right? The O-line conversion rating for Seattle last year was around 50%, and for Steele it was around 38%. You know, both teams did struggle with that O-line conversion, whereas the D-line conversion rating was about 50% for Seattle and about 37, so close to 38% for Steele, right? Like they got effectively as many points on D as they did on O. And that's not, I mean, it's not exact, but that's not great.
Yeah.
And I think that is what you're seeing here, right? Both unforced offensive errors, but also defensive lines that are ready to try to put some pressure on.
Definitely. We'll see if both these O-lines can be better this year when everybody's complete. Shot goes downfield. Gordon looking for help. Arts on a platter, jumping it in. Gordon and Arts giving and going. Steal. Hold.
That's the sort of leading pass that Steele wants to be putting together that's going to signal a truly different season for the Steele. I think Arts is a really fun player to highlight. You know, he has been playing Ultimate in Portland for 20 years and has really spent a lot of time coaching and coached, you know, college team Artemis to 3rd place at D3 Nationals in 2025. And I think that is exemplifies so much of what matters to both of these programs, that like I'm part of the community and I'm giving back to the community through coaching, and it looks a lot of different ways for a lot of different players. But I think that is something to highlight about Arts, who scored that goal there.
Moonball pull, rolls. Centering to Orser. Swinging it over, here's Lynn. Too much lotion. The steal with another chance. Putting it out to a spot. Boom! The steal to John Lee. That's a break. Portland.
This is Lee's 4th season with Steel. I've had the pleasure of playing with him, a delight of a human, and really fun to really just like bring so much joy and energy to any community that he is a part of. So it's really like awesome to see Lee out there, not just with the steal, but also making plays. I think we're again, you know, we've not seen a clean hold yet. Both these teams trying to find their feet. And I think actually a challenge for Seattle right now is that they do have so many people. And I think it'll be, because it is just one period of 15 minutes, the like wear on your legs, you're not going to see as much. And so having a smaller Steel roster is going to be less detrimental than it would be if you're playing that 4-quarter system in a typical UFA game. And I think that actually the cohesion that they're going to get early on might actually help Steel as compared to this huge roster where there are still Cascades players who haven't seen the field yet.
For sure. A lot of mouths to feed. Traditional O-line, D-line versus a pod system here today. Here's Garrett Martin. He has Lofink in the deep space, chooses not to. Cody Smart getting it back to Martin, 5 yards out. Lofink not in, boom, to Belfield. Seattle respond quickly.
With Zeppelin Ronig out today, on the Cascades roster, just not playing today, you know, it really leaves more space for Belfield to be sort of that primo receiver in the end zone, which is a role that he was filling anyway, and I think like puts more pressure on him to do that. I'm really curious to see how this addition of Cody Smart to the O-line is like, how that's going to shape up. So Cody Smart played for the Cascades a number of years ago, but has not been playing professionally, has a long commute from Olympia up to Seattle, which is part of why he wasn't playing the last number of years. And it is so exciting to see his hustle and drive on the field. And I think that Smart is going to work so well in the handler space with Munoz, and the way that I think they're going to be able to give and go. I think that'll be a really fun storyline for us to watch throughout the season.
Yeah, there's a good chance for him to knock off the Russ. Merrim connects, gains some yards. The Steel O-line operating. Ooh. Foul on the double. McNichols walks it up. Shot. Trailing nicely into the hands. Brewermeyer. Bucket. Score's now 4-2.
One of the noteworthy features about both of these Oregon programs is that you have a number of players who, right, like they are not the Portland Steel. They are not the Portland Soar, right? They are the Oregon Steel and the Oregon Soar. And for both of these teams coming out of Oregon, they truly do have players coming from all over the state. And, you know, we Ultimate players know that both Corvallis and Eugene are large hubs for Ultimate Frisbee, and so even though Portland is the most populous city, you have really robust Ultimate Frisbee programs in Corvallis. And Quinn Burmeyer, who is one of those players who's commuting from Corvallis to play with the Steel. And, you know, and Steel in turn is catering to some of these Corvallis players by having some of their practices largely in Portland, but also, you know, last weekend they had a double practice weekend in Corvallis to make it easier and make that commute like more possible for the players that are based on there.
Meeting people where they're at. Jack Brown, Tommy Lynn, a couple veterans. Good connection downfield. Brandon Lee. Sweeney. Lee puts it out there. Tommy Lynn running the show and getting paid for it.
Lee swinging his arm around, knowing that he had a little bit too much oomph on that. And like, it was great placement because Tommy Lynn had the space to run onto it, but it definitely like popped more than would have been ideal.
Looked like they were playing mini up the field there, those three.
And thinking from a coaching perspective, that is sort of what, like, this is a really great opportunity to play with pods of players. Of like, oh, who is working well together? Oh, it's noteworthy that Sweeney and Lynn and Lee we're playing many of the fields. Like, hey, that's going to get us a bunch of yards.
Especially in the crunch data points.
Well, and I think it's also a great complement to the big shooter offense that you have going with, you know, with like Martin and sort of that line.
Yeah. Big swing over to McNichols. Barrow taking the yards they're given. Good communication downfield. I am open. Ooh. Putting it out there, not in yet. On the doorstep. Arts finds a connection. Gordon again. Those two connect.
That was really nice movement, right? Being able to move the disc from the far sideline to the near sideline. Initially, I didn't think that the throw had enough shape on it, but it really was leading and created the space for the ping pong for that and for the scoring cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really using the width of the field there.
And by changing the point of attack, you're making the defense respond and having them be out of position.
It's really geometry. You know, we're playing with angles, we're using space, etc. Oregon up top, just under 5 minutes remaining.
So while we are playing periods, both of these teams do have 2 timeouts per half. So we're sort of, because this is a condensed game, they're treating this 15-minute period as one of the UFA halves. So for this modification, this is the first of Oregon's 2 timeouts that they're using here, meaning that they still do have timeouts later. And when we kind of zoom out and think big picture, you know, we have 5 minutes left in this period, but total points matters because the winner of the Northwest Cup, you know, is whichever city or team, state, is going to get the total number of points, right? And so it will matter at the end, like, oh, is there an opportunity to get an additional point, regardless of who's in the lead, because you don't know what's gonna happen, you know, in that third mixed game.
For sure. Duo of teams. I don't know. City, duo.
Yeah, but Oregon's not a city; it's a state,
Right.
Like you have a city, because it's also not Washington. Like, the Cascades are very much a Seattle-based team. They're not representative of the state of Washington.
For sure.
But Oregon really is representative of the state of Washington. And together, they are definitely representative of the Pacific Northwest. I think using this timeout, you can see Coach Timmy, was talking to the line and is like, I'm excited to see what sort of defense we're going to get. I would expect some sort of like out the sideline, trap sideline, setting up a zone. Like, hey, here's a great opportunity to practice that coming from this first play.
Wah, 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 wah.
When I said out the sideline, what I had meant to convey was that it would land in and roll out so you could set a trap on the sideline, not just throwing it out of bounds, which is not beneficial for you defensively.
We got them right where we want them.
But you can see a triangle in the back here on this vertical stack where they're trying to, they have a last back and they're trying to stop some of the, fronting some of the sides.
Sure. Seattle O-line working. Garrett Martin to Cody Smart. Looks good. It's been some years, like you said. Oh, out of the hands of Belfield and over the fence.
And that's why we have extra frisbees on the sideline.
That throw choice was offensive. Oregon with another chance to add to their total. In this UFA WUL crossover bonanza. Woo! Ooh. The crowd is unhappy, letting them know. Vogel.
Both Seattle blocks, or almost blocks, because I'm going to group that as a block, have been by rookies. And I think that speaks to who's hungry out here to just, try and make a name for themselves, earn playing time in roster.
Ball don't lie. The ball does not lie. Brandon Bogle, like you said, making a name for himself. I'm finna make a name for myself.
I mean, this is exactly what Fitzpatrick did last year. Fitzpatrick came out and said, I'm going to get a bunch of blocks. You got to put me in.
Against the steal.
Maybe Bogle is Fitzpatrick part 2.
Timeout flag flies. Casey Akita wants to talk it out. Seattle with some juice.
Definitely a moment where they're using the ability to change the line in the middle of the possession, right? You have that D-line that did its job, where it earned the block, and now Cascades are going to put in more of an offensive-minded set of players. It's also a great opportunity to kind of, continue working their way through this very large roster.
For sure.
For our refs this evening, we have John Bartlett and Richard Kruger that are reffing this UFA game. And there will be a distinct team of observers who will be doing the second 2 periods. Oh. And it looks like Barney has shown up to be the 3rd official here.
Oh, good hustle. You see that?
The hustle that Zig is talking about is from new coach Mark Burton, who is coming in as the assistant coach. Casey Akita is the head coach, taking over for Kelly Johnson.
Ooh, turn the page. Table of contents, whatever you want to call it. Jack Brown from Sweeney. Hello. They got good Bluetooth going on. They're connected.
And I think that that's a combination of the coaching with the players that created that score in that moment, right? So you have Casey Akita, who is taking over as the head coach, and is you know, shout out Kelly Johnson for all of the work that she has done coaching the Cascades, has done, like, she will be deeply, deeply missed and has really helped build this program in the last 2 years. And, you know, Casey learning, like, as head coach now, like, when's the moment to use that timeout? And Mark Burton, with his experience as a former Cascade, coming in, knowing how to use your players. Ian Sweeney as a handler, but who's also a lefty. So when you can get him the disc in the middle of the field, you can put that shape to throw it to Jack Brown, a phenomenal receiver, into the end zone.
Sailing over the top. Seattle with a chance to close the gap. Stopel with a chance to right some wrongs here. Swinging it around. Grant Harris. Moving it down the field. Here's Shipway. Getting it over to the side. Looking for help.
I think there's an opportunity for Oregon to put more pressure on that solitary reset, particularly when you're in this, like, close third of the field.
For sure. Stopel on the doorstep. Who's going to be the one to put it in there? Shot through the middle. Called in. Ben Cass Mullet. Seattle with a break.
They needed to get that break back. 1 minute left, tied at 5s. And I think that was, you know, good patience shown by Seattle. Kelly, for Oregon, was looking for a switch with the, like, in defending the Seattle handlers, and that switch didn't happen. There was no one, like, who he was trying to switch was, they weren't ready. And so it left that space open, and Seattle did a good job exploiting that. I think another space for both of these programs to improve over last year were their red zone conversions. And, you know, they're...
Ben Cass Mullet about to ring the bell. Yeah.
Zig, tell us about the bell.
That is the break gong. The player who scores a break for Seattle gets to ring the bell. And Ben Cass Mullet did the deed. He tied the game here, under a minute left in this first period of our day. Barham thought about it, decides not to. Maybe some clock management here. Ooh. Defense chant here as the crowd has gotten pretty big here in Seattle, in Interbay. Barham through the middle.
I think there is some good clock management here where they are slowly advancing down the field, but really cognizant of the 21 seconds that are left on the clock, where they want to make sure they score, but don't leave Seattle with any realistic amount of time to respond.
For sure.
Although Seattle's doing a great job putting pressure, they've stopped the forward advancement, which is going to put Oregon in a tight place.
Ooh, 3 seconds left.
Pick it up and...
Oh. Ah.
There is some confusion happening on the field. Second timeout was used by Seattle.
Wow.
Discussion about what time the clock should be reset to. But I do think this is also a missed opportunity for those Seattle players, right? It's a learning moment of, like, hey, Seattle, when that happens, when there's only a couple of seconds, whoever's closest to the disc, even if you're not normally handling, you're not expected to be a thrower, you do have to pick up the disc and you got to put it into the end zone to give your team a shot.
For sure. Somebody's going to be in their ear about that. situation. You learn by doing and being there. But a great timeout.
Yes, definitely the right time to use your second timeout. And you can see what's happening here. So I do want to highlight a change in the UFA rule set in that you cannot double team in the last 5 seconds of a quarter. So that this moment, typically, what you would see is oh, it looks like they're trying to set up a double team. They're not supposed to be able to set up a double team during this last 5 seconds, which is typically what is happening. But again, this is a new rule for this season.
Another timeout called. Will show your hand. You see this a lot in the NFL, where a team will come out for an important down, see what the offense has set up or the defense, and then call a timeout to talk about it and maybe make them think about it.
What would you do here as Oregon?
Well, double team, I guess, but we're working out the kinks. It's a new rule, but you just got to put a body on a body and box out. I think it's got to come up. You get maybe one throw. You got time for 2 throws, maybe, if it's quick. You just got to be sticky here. What do you think?
I mean, if you have Morad open, right, Lofink hits it to Morad, then Morad has the open shot. Or you let Lofink throw a hammer.
Oh! Sweeney's so close to pulling it off over the top.
That was an exciting end. I think that this is a great showcase of what we have to come, right? Like both teams, there are definitely some hiccups, some bumps along the way, but you can tell that both teams want it, right? Seal, Cascades, they are here to play. They're having fun and being with each other as part of their team and their culture, and also hungry to show off their best for what's gonna come. And I think that we will see this matchup again throughout the course of this UFA season. This is just a quick taste of what we're gonna get, which is just excites me because there's so much potential for both of these squads and really sets up the rest of an amazing Northwest Cup.
For sure.
Don't go too far as we take a break going in, as we take our 10-minute break, because I will be back with an interview with General Manager Darcy Fredericks. So please make sure you stay seated for some breaking, exciting news that we have upcoming.
Yeah.
Welcome back from this break. I'm Charlie Mercer. We are here at the Northwest Cup. This is an amazing opportunity, and I am here with Darcy Fredericks, who is the co-owner of the Oregon Steel and the Oregon Soar. And we have some news to give you, and it is juicy.
We get to host the WL Championship on June 13th and 14th of 2026 in Portland, Oregon. Yeah,
So-
we're that excited too.
I'm so stoked for this. What makes Portland an ideal place to host championship weekend?
Yeah, so we're super excited that women's sports is blowing up everywhere as it should. But Portland, Oregon has really been the epicenter of women's sports for the last couple of years of huge growth. You know, we got the Sports Bra, we got Portland Fire, we got Portland Cascade, and we have some opportunity to partner with Sport Oregon, which has a foundation called She Flies, and it's all about growing women's sports in the Portland area. So we are primed and ready to host in Portland.
What does a successful championship weekend look like for you as the organization that's hosting this?
Yeah, I mean, the primary and first thing is we would love to see 50% of our people in the stands having never seen Ultimate before. Like, what a great opportunity. It would be so exciting and an excellent way for us to measure our success if we have new faces in the stands. And then with that, the elevated part of that is, or the next level of that is the Western Ultimate League. Like, yes, it's in Portland, Oregon, but we want new fans of every single team in the Western Ultimate League all around. So the success and what would be something that we'd be really excited about is if everybody got new fans and people were subscribing to our YouTube channel and getting on our socials and subscribing to our newsletter. Let's get the whole WL to grow.
Love it.
Yeah.
What do you think it means, like, for in terms of elevating women's sport to have this event in Oregon and just to have this, like, the championship weekend in general?
Yeah, the championship weekend. So I grew up playing college, club, ultimate frisbee. I love it. It's a huge part of my heart. But one of the things that's unique about pro ultimate frisbee is that it's in a format that fans, sports fans of any sport can understand. So this really elevates us to be able to new fans, get new people there, and just see the championship level of hopefully the top 4 teams for the season showing off together. And it's really, I mean, you saw it last year, you were there. Like, the points are just tougher, they're more intense, and yeah, we're ready to deliver on that.
And I think that is like one of the things that really excites me. Like, the feel of championship weekend is so special. And I think it's really fun because Portland hasn't hosted championship weekend yet.
We have not.
And
Yeah,
so
this is new.
It is going to be a new opportunity for a new group of people and building that. What do you think, like, what can the players, what can the fans expect from Portland as a host?
Yeah, so we are very highly centered on the fan experience first. And that would be, you know, from everything from our music, our game host, the game activities for kids off when the game isn't happening so parents can also enjoy what's happening, our concessions, our beverage vendor, I don't know what I can say, beverage vendor. So all of those things are really important to the fan experience, but we also really want to elevate the player experience. These are pro athletes, and they deserve an experience that feels different than any other sport, any other league they play in, or any other experience during the regular season. We want them to show up and go, holy cow, I'm a pro athlete. That was the best experience I've had on the field. So we are focused on that experience for players as much as fans.
I think you maybe just answered this question, but what do you, like, last question, what do you want the legacy to be for, like, everyone, you know, in 5 years? People are talking about, oh yeah, that championship weekend in 2026, Portland hosted and it was blank. What's that legacy?
Ooh, that's a good question. And I would have to say, again, I keep the word that comes to my mind and what we're focused on is elevated. So I just want them to go and say, that was next level for us as players and as fans.
I think it's going to be such a great opportunity. It is incredible that Portland is hosting the WL Championship weekend for 2026. Again, this is Darcy Fredericks. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Of course, yay. And let's get back to the awesome Northwest Cup, right?
Yes, coming up next, we are going to have our period where we will have the Oregon Soar facing off against the Seattle Tempest in our WL section of the game, and it's going to be amazing. Come back real soon. Are you going to call her PX or are you going to call her?
I'm going to say Peixian first,
You're going to pay.
and then I'm going to say PX after that. Lisa, go. Welcome back. Period 2, WL action coming at you next. The Oregon Soar taking on the home team, Seattle Tempest. The Northwest Cup is tied up 5-5, Charlie. We got a battle here.
There's a lot of pressure, and I think that's the whole point of this thing, right? This is an opportunity for us to showcase women's ultimate, right? Like, women's ultimate isn't the precursor to men's ultimate, right? Like, the men's UFA game happened first, and now it's going to build the pressure. And each period as we go, particularly if these games stay close, it's going to just create more momentum, more energy, more push for both of these programs. As we are thinking about this new season for the WL, we just got breaking news that Portland will be hosting the WL Championship weekend on June 13th and 14th, and that's going to be super awesome. The WL also has some big structural changes that are happening. And so Will Griffin was just named as the new executive director, replacing Nicole Neumiller. So thank you for her time. Griffin has experience in sales and marketing and business. He has been an owner-operator of UFA's San Diego Growlers since 2015, and so is bringing that experience to the WL this year. With the other big WL news is that we have the return of the LA Astra to the WL this year. And so with the return of the Astra, where the WL is going back to that a total of 8 teams, and will return to that conference play format. So there will be a North Conference and a South Conference. And so the North Conference will be comprised of the Colorado Alpenglow, Oregon Soar, Seattle Tempest, and Utah Wild. And then the South Conference will be comprised of Arizona Sidewinders, the Bay Area Falcons, Los Angeles Astra, and San Diego Superbloom. And each team will play the other teams within its conference twice. And then they will also play 2 out-of-conference games. And so you'll see some cross-conference play, but there will also be teams that don't play each other in the regular season. And so I think this really sets up like a WL that is ready to come back stronger for this next season. All WL games will still be streamed for free on the WL YouTube channel. And, that you are watching right now to clue into this game. And I think that is such a special place to be able to watch professional ultimate for free. So huge kudos to the WL for continuing to create that opportunity.
For sure. Access is a great way for people to see what's going on. And the WL is growing, is getting better. And I'm just so excited for this. I got a lot of friends out here about to play. Oh, man. It's so good to be back, Charlie.
Who are you excited to see on this Tempest roster?
I see Marley Ronnig out there, Zeppelin Ronig's little sister, PX, Jess Crowley, like everybody's out here. Oh man, Drea Baroma's back. Man, there's just so many. I just can't wait to see what the 2026 Tempest look like.
Yeah, something that was noteworthy to me about these rosters is that both Seattle and Oregon only had 1 player on the 2025 all WL teams. And so, Tempest had Sadie Jezerski on the first all WL team, who was, the D player of the year and was hugely impactful. And Jezerski's not coming back. Jezerski has moved to New York and is not playing Tempest this year. And Soar had Jackie Riley, who was on the WL second team and is not playing tonight. And so they're, both of these teams are not comprised of these big name players that are attracting a lot of attention. And I think that within it creates a different dynamic within the team that allows for that cooperation and the cohesion within that community. Looks like Oregon won the coin flip. You can see that happening on your screen right now with our team of observers. But I think that there's, as we are looking tonight, like you have so many players that have so much talent, but are not the players that you're hearing about, making, that are like not necessarily blowing up stats, or that you're hearing like, oh, so-and-so is doing this thing. But they are truly all are stars in their own rights. And I think that like this tonight is going to be that first opportunity for players on both the Tempest and the Soar to showcase that they are the stars. They deserve to have all of the accolades, and they deserve to have these long narratives written about them because of all of the amazing things that they can do on the field.
Exactly. Clock it. Whew. Case is in there on the huddle. The Tempest look ready. The Soar ready to take flight. The Northwest Cup heating up. Ooh. It looks like the wind has picked up a little bit. It looks like a steady little gust.
Yeah, when we think about the conditions, I think that we've really transitioned from sort of like daylight in past the twilight, which can sort of be a messy space, to like fully mostly dark right now. And so now the players are truly playing under the lights. And so it is interesting how these conditions are changing. You can see those flags moving, right? Giving you an idea of what it's like down here or up here in Seattle, depending on where you are. And I just wanted to take note of the scoreboard in your upper left-hand corner. Note that is still it's a cumulative total of points, right? So we are not starting this game at 0-0. We are starting this game at 5-5.
Mm-hmm.
What happened before still matters for tonight for the winner of this Northwest Cup. So again, we have a 15-minute period of play. We have 4 observers. We are using the WL rules for this section. Oregon has elected to pull. Seattle is receiving. I appreciate that we have a new coin flip for each of the periods that are happening. You can definitely see players on the sidelines starting to add more layers. In Seattle, when the sun goes down, there's a pretty significant temperature drop that also happens with that. And so, play outside is also, temperatures probably dropped about 10 degrees in the last 20 minutes. And so I'm curious if that's going to have an impact on our play here.
For sure. Right off the rip, Spalding to Drea Baroma. Up to Megan Louie. Oh, where you going? Good step around backhand. Back to the middle. Spalding to Shu. Step around. Megan Louie. First year on the Tempest. Oh, gets it right back. I got your back. Hey.
Louie is going to be a player to watch this year on Tempest. Louie brings with them a wealth of experience both in college and in club, and I think that is poised is good at finding the right spaces at the right time, and plays with this hunger that is pretty infectious to the people around her, and is very fun to be around. And you could really see that in how she was carrying herself in that play. And she's getting, again, rookie on the team and had multiple touches in that first point.
For sure. Also, Jessie Spalding coming back.
Yeah, Spalding was now fully recovered from an ACL tear, and so is, you know, having her firepower in the middle of the field and like just the poise that she brings to this Tempest offense, I think is going to make a big difference.
Ooh, right off the rip, Seattle with a break chance here.
Manning caught that disc. Manning coming over from Carolina and the PUL, and so having Manning on as an addition to this roster, you know, Seattle native is definitely gonna make a big difference this year.
Oregon looking for their first point of the period. Back to the middle of the field. Kimmy K dumps it. Taking their time. Ooh, sure-handed through the ground. The disc is humming right now for Oregon. Ugh. Yup. Good roll. Doesn't matter, right on the doorstep now. Lamont unable to get it there. Alexa Ramersa getting a run through, saving the point. Seattle with another break chance here.
Ramersa is known for her like straight line speed and ability to like hit top speed over long distances, and so it's extra impressive that she's able to like, you know, put on the jets and get that small space block.
Oh! A Callahan, Cammie Lamont. Oh, what a gift. Oregon ties the game 6-6.
That is the fire that Oregon wants to bring tonight. And I think, you know, as Seattle, as Charlie Eide, who threw that, is like, well, dang.
Yeah.
Definitely an early season miscommunication. You know, thought the reset was going one direction, they were going a different direction. You know, and Lamont clearly is going to be spearheading this Oregon offense, is opportunistically saw that and took advantage of it. It's, you know, great work by Lamont. And, you know, those are the sorts of mistakes that, like, this is a great opportunity for, you know, to give this time to Tempest and Soar to clean those up so they're not happening in the regular season.
For sure. Everybody gets one. Heidi just getting them out early. Roller pull. Oregon's going to get a chance to set here. Cheryl Sue, quarterback one, lets it go. Got Buns running deep, over the top, called in. Welcome back, Caitlin Rowling.
The Sue to Rowling connection is going to be on repeat this year.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that, you know, it really plays to both of those players, right? You want to give Sue that forehand hook, and you want to give Rowling a jump ball. And so the two of them together pair very well to do what you just saw on your screen.
Definitely. Both their superpowers complement each other well.
And they've played with each other both on the Tempest and on club teams before, and, you know, with BFG, and so they have that chemistry, and they know what to do. Rowling last year played, you know, what didn't play professionally, was taking the season off because she was coming back from a concussion, but did decide to play club and actually traveled to the Bay Area to play with Fury and just had an incredible season with Fury, and then got to represent the U.S. for Beach Worlds this year. And so Rowling, since she has last played with Tempest, has matured so much as a player, was already outstanding.
Ooh, outstanding run through. Antolin.
And I think we're just going to see Rolling's play elevated this year. And I think you're already seeing this on the field where lots of Tempest players are seeing this opportunity to elevate their play.
For sure. Patient wrong. Siona Antolin. Oh, just out of the hands off the bobble. Helen Zhao. Oregon now with another chance. Ooh. Letting it rip.
I think that was a great look, you know, to shoot it deep in that movement, like in that moment. And it really needed to be to a corner. So you had a receiver that was running straight line, same third away from you. And that is just like, that is why, you know, kind of ultimate guidance says you don't want those same third hooks because it is so hard to track. And if it had had the edge and the touch to go out to a corner, that would have been an Oregon goal.
For sure. We'll see if that comes up again. Siona Antolin up to Crowley. Zhao this time comes down with it. Looking to get it off the line. PX stepping through. Ooh, thought about it. Mishap on the throw. Oregon gets it back.
Blocked by Co Madden from Oregon.
Osborne connects down the field. Ooh, just off the hands. PX up the line. Ooh.
I think another factor in this is the time between warm-ups and being able to play and having access to the fields and the conditions. And so because of the structure of this game, this is the first time both Soar and Cascades, or Soar and Tempest, are on this field because their game was first. The men's teams, the Cascades and the Steel, had the opportunity to warm up on this field. And so the women's programs and non-binary program were warming up at at sort of the accessory field. And so that accessory field is grass, this field is turf, now you have lights. Conditions are actually distinct from what they warmed up with. And so you're seeing some of these throws like, oh, right, like players do move differently on turf. So I have to put the disc into a different place than when they're on grass, right? You can turn faster on turf, you know, and you have to, like, you are in fact faster on turf than you are in grass. You're not being held down. You're not getting stuck in the dirt as much. And so this is like an extra element here where, you know, now that we're, you know, a third of the way, give or take, through this period, both of these teams are kind of starting to settle in and find their groove of like, okay, what is working, what isn't working. So I really like the use of this timeout as an opportunity to regroup, because I think that both teams were getting a little bit sloppy and trying to feel each other out. And you saw a number of these miscues where they were close, but, you know, close doesn't cut it.
Yeah, that's a good note about the different fields for warm-ups. I didn't know they were practicing on grass. Now after the timeout, the crowd is getting into it.
We also got a t-shirt gun over here.
Oh. When Torres puts it up in the middle of the end zone, Seattle secures the disc back.
Manning in that space, you know, making a mark.
Charlie Idy in the center of the end zone. Down the line. Oh, give me that!
That was a highlight reel grab.
Centered.
Blocked by Osborne.
Back to Lamont. All the way around to the other side. Seattle looking to tie the Northwest Cup up after a long point back and forth after a timeout. 15 yards out. Sure-handed. Lamont through the middle. Ooh. Too much crumbs in the bread basket.
It's a rare error from Matonis. Matonis is typically very sure-handed.
Ooh.
Super springy and athletic.
The Mac saves it there for Seattle. Up the middle is Manning, letting it go. Has two down there, but sails out of bounds. Back and forth we go. Oh no, look at the score.
Gotta get that 6-7 joke in there.
Hey.
My 2-year-old.
No, that's young.
My 2-year-old both says 6-7 and says siete and does the hand motions.
I love the say siete. Mercer with great pressure. Seattle winning it back. Ooh. Down low. Win. Seattle, another timeout. 6 minutes left on the clock. Up by 1.
I think that was a really good play. Also, those players have, you want to keep rotating your lines through. You want different people to have the opportunity to touch the fields, and also, we are making progress, and there's still a lot of turnovers that are happening. Taking this opportunity to appreciate our observer crew. So on the field tonight, we have Autumn Toki, John Wilkinson, Erica Kuda Mera, and AK Mera as our observers. So thank you to our observers. This is the same observer crew that will be observing the third period mixed session. That will be our conclusion to our Northwest Cup.
They will not mix it up.
Ba-dum-bum.
Sorry.
You can see Spalding standing over the disc for Tempest, and I really love having, Spalding and just the amount of composure she has starting in this position, right? The amount of trust, her ability to put that disc to a pinpoint corner like this.
Like that. Yay, yay. Yay, son Lee with a good read on it. Like you're saying, a pinpoint corner.
We talked earlier about that combo of Cheryl Sue and Caitlin Rolling, and I think maybe we're seeing a blooming combo between Jess Spalding and Ye-Sun Lee doing something very similar. Mm-hmm. I think that Jess is her superpower is the composure she has when picking up the disc and the ability to to put this exact spacing and edge that you need on a throw. And so what Spalding did there is she put it to over the defender so that it was in the space that Ye-Sun could get it, but it was on the wrong side of the defender, which had to go over their heads for that to happen. And so, is a great read by Ye-Sun Lee and really great placement by Spalding.
For sure. Seattle goes up 2 now, 8-6 in the Northwest Cup. Here, basically in the middle of the periods here. As the pull goes up, we're gonna get a roller in the middle.
That roller gave him an extra 20 yards.
Here's Thompson, AKA Chef. Secured. Back to the center.
We're embarrassingly disappointed in ourselves.
It happens. Reeling in. Foul on the catch. No contest here. Matoni. A stoppage. Resume play. Kimmy K looking for somebody. 10 yards out. Oregon working patiently, looking for their opportunity. Out in front. Ooh, a great bid. Wow.
Incredible bid by Manning. Incredible play by Soar. That is what makes women's ultimate so fun to watch. That space, the passion, the drive, the fire, really well executed by Oregon.
I believe that was Ava Peterson with the goal for Oregon.
One of the things that stands out about this Oregon team this year is that they only have 7 returners from last year. And so it is truly like a new squad of players, and they create so much opportunity in a space like this for players to redefine themselves. You know, you are playing wherever you're playing, for college or for club. Maybe you've played professionally, maybe you haven't, but there is that space to say, like, who do I want to be in this moment right now? And the Soar are really taking advantage of that and saying, like, this is the kind of team I want to be this year.
Centers. Connecting down the field. Seattle gets those yards back. Rolling through traffic. A shot. Arcing. Cheryl Sue yanks it out the sky. Boom! 24-7. Gemma Monk.
We said Sue was hugging to Rolling, but there, Rolling hugged it to Sue.
Uno reverse.
First goal in the WL for Gemma Monk. Number 7 there, who caught that one, that little dishy from Sue. This is her WL debut. Hometown of Bend, Oregon, so playing against plenty of players that she knows.
Rolling really bent that throw down here.
That one wasn't as good.
It's okay. It's okay. It's preseason. We're good.
I'm only going to give them 2. Like, when you get my real laugh, that's when you know that you got the gold star.
Hey, I'll take 1,000 chuckles. Up the middle now. Expecting Peterson. Rolling on the mark. Quick movements. Testing these Tempest players' communication. Little float, but it's okay. Peterson connects down the field. Ooh. Brogan Jones. Now Crowley. Ooh. Good hustle by Zhao. Unable to get there. As that disc soars out of bounds.
I think what you're seeing here is both teams getting a little bit impatient. And with that impatience, you see these execution errors because they're trying to like make something happen as they go. You know, in like the last number of turnovers were all unforced errors.
Ooh! Siona Antolin putting her foot down.
That was a dirty block by Antolin.
Mm-hmm. Up the line, Brogan Jones. Connecting. Lauren Page now in the middle. Here's Crowley. Alex not to look downfield, but we're moving. Antolin to Jones. Over to Ronig.
It's so fun to say Ronig, not mean Zep.
Definitely. Ooh. Good pressure there by Peterson. Made that throw not as simple as it could have been. As Oregon Soar with another chance here to cut it to the deficit to 1. .45 seconds left. Antolin with another block. In the end zone right now. Nobody on her.
Antolin set that up.
And it goes anyway. Ooh. Crowley wanted to reward her.
I mean, wouldn't you? It was a good block.
2 of them. A coupon. Buy one, get one free on blocks. .20 seconds left on the clock. Called up. Play continues.
Remember that we are playing WL rules, so it matters who has possession when time expires. They do not need to score in the next 4 seconds. They just need to have possession when time expires.
Woo! Literally saving the possession.
Soar with the last possession of this period. They can play as long as they need until there's a turnover or a goal. There's no time limit in this situation.
Catching it off the hip. Yeti. Sliding in. The Northwest Cup hangs in the balance as the Soar operating with no time constraints. Ooh!
This is one of their cleanest offensive possessions that they've had this whole period.
Maybe concern of an injury, but play goes on, and ooh, that'll be the end of it.
Clearly I shouldn't. Clearly I jinxed it. But if I were an Oregon coach, I would definitely like take note of that. And it's like, it truly is a celebration that like my team, like thinking as an Oregon coach, like my team did some of their best ultimate when the pressure was on. And I think that that speaks volumes for like the ceiling for this Oregon Soar program as we move forward. But here we are. We have reached the end of our second period. Seattle is leading Oregon 9-7. We have completed our WL portion. We will be back in 10 minutes for our mixed ultimate portion. That last period will be a 20-minute long period. And this game is so close. Fans are revved, players are revved, and it's going to be such a treat to see both of these teams combined, all four of these teams combined, and take this field together. You never know what's going to happen. Stay tuned. Northwest Cup will be right back.
Welcome back. Our third period of action, the mixed portion, is underway. Oregon versus Seattle. Straight into action here. Now in the middle.
first offensive possession for this mixed Oregon crew.
The disc is moving. There's no agenda here. Ooh, good snag. Nichols. Here's Torres. Ooh. Crowley with some pressure. Aggressive pivot. Successful. Taking their time here. Ooh, scoops it up off the turf. Nichols has Salmon on him. Rifles it up. Ooh. Bounces just out of the reach of the layout attempt by Arts.
When Torres was really piggybacking that offensive possession for Oregon, and they're a new addition, played on the Mexican national team, and I think is going to be a really fun player to watch what they bring to the scene. You can see him on the mark against Spalding right there.
Ooh! Sailing over the top. Arts with the disc. Boom! Puts it on a platter.
Celebrations, yet the observers are waving off. A stall was called. There's some discussion that is happening on the field. I think the conversation is like, is there a fast count? You know.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the conversation that you see happening here.
Signals it was a stall. Osborne does not get that goal. Seattle with a chance to take the first mixed point.
Second chance.
Second chance. Ooh. Crowley up to Martin. Martin all the way downfield. Manning. Up to Mahan. Now Martin. Caitlin rolling. Around the top. Take a picture of that. Manning. Rolling in the backfield. They might need to roll. She's a handler. Martin over the top. Manning comes down with it. With their name all over this point.
This mixed game is such a fun and distinct opportunity, and I think that it's also really different from the mixed ultimate that you see played at the club level in USAU. So here you have two professional teams with distinct identities, right? You have the Cascades that are practicing together, and they have their own team culture and team identity. You have the Steel that are practicing together. They have their own team culture and identity. And on the WL side, you have the Tempest that are practicing together and the Soar that are practicing together. And so you have 4 different programs that all have, like, while each of the geographical locations have the same ownership and some of the same, like, consistent values and branding and whatnot, they are distinct groups of humans that don't, while they support each other, like, off the field, they're not playing together on the field and developing collective systems. And so in real time, these players are going to be figuring it out, and that's what you're seeing here.
Definitely figuring it out.
Nice handler sag in the middle there from Seattle.
Barham. Big swing around. Spalding getting in there. The Cascades with the disc now. Pass mullet. Oh! Leave your feet to eat. Big swing around. Here's Sweeney. Putting it out there. Drea Baroma with a chaser. The crowd lets them hear it.
And that was a clean, safe play.
Indeed.
Vernon was fully in control.
Oh! Another safe play as it falls to the turf. Spalding picks up.
I think Spalding is doing a good job putting bodies on players defensively to make those windows tight and making them have to catch people.
For sure. Jack Brown with a nod. Baroma did not hear it.
But I do think that the Cascades players are right to center in on Baroma, right? Like Baroma in the end zone is definitely a gold ticket for what you want here for this Cascades roster.
Oh, Barham.
Important opportunity to regroup here for Seattle.
Cass Mullet on the 1 inch line. Us. Baroma. Up to Ian Sweeney, the Cascades. What do you know?
It's a good move by Sweeney. Really nice patience by Baroma to sort of wait for that space to open up. But I think Sweeney did an excellent job just winning that front cone.
Baroma also had a really good break check cut to get the disc. A little hiccups as expected, but yeah, the Cascades and the Tempest look pretty good together.
Yeah, as we get into, we're now a quarter of the way through our mixed period, right? Seattle is up 10-7, and I think what you're seeing here is the experience of the Seattle is up 11-7. You see that the Seattle players are, because likely they're more geographically concentrated, have more opportunities outside of this setting of playing together. So they more of them know each other and have played together before. So this chemistry and those connections are coming a little bit faster, whereas Oregon is much more geographically spread out. So there are fewer players that have those inter team connections. Not saying that there are none, right? But that it is just here the concentration matters.
For sure. That was a great point.
Great reaction time.
Good job checking on each other. Nobody wants to get hurt out here. Lynn with the shimmy. Too much shimmy. Torres, center of the field. Ooh!
Owen Hay was happy to be the receiver of that too much to me. Some really aggressive fakes there.
Swinging, and now in the middle. John Lee. Big around. Lee and Osborne play catch as the Cutters get reconnected. Ooh, up the 5-hole. Right on the front cone. Stop and go. Bobble, but collected. Oregon, Soar? Nah.
I don't know that Soar is the right combo name for that team.
Yeah, I'll
Keep workshopping.
come back to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still got close to 13 minutes to figure out a good combo name.
Cascades just rolls off for me. I'll work on it for Oregon. I got you.
Something that I think is really worth highlighting for both of these programs that I think is like kind of why this Northwest Cup is happening is that the Cascades and the Soar, we'll use that as a running combo name for lack of a better name, have the same ownership. And so both the Cascades and the Tempest are owned by the Titcomb family, and that the like Steel and Soar are owned by Bill Freeman and Darcy Fredericks. And so like as these like ownership groups are the same, it creates so much more cohesion between the UFA and WL teams. And it creates the space for there to be respect and equality amongst these programs so that all of these athletes get the preeminent experience of what it's like to be a professional athlete, and they get to be valued and respected with each other.
For sure. Cross-organization cohesion.
Ooh, well said.
Thank you, thank you. Ooh, Belfield and Cheryl Sue playing catch. Still doing it. Across the pitch here. Shipway. Hey. Breakout player. Langley Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick was real quiet in the UFA section. So it's nice to see him, put points on the board.
For sure. Maybe he was saving his legs for this portion.
I think there's also a kit coordination that I'm like now just truly really appreciating, right? If you look at the color combo of the Cascades and the Tempest kit, right? Like they're different blues, but they still like really work together. And then switching over, and when you look at the Oregon colors, they're like, a niche from far away, it looks like the same jersey, right? Like there are some splashes that distinguish them from each other, but they look, it's a cohesive branding within the geographic teams. And that is a beautiful thing.
Come on, details. Send it to Torres. Ooh, gets it back.
Torres is being asked to do a lot of work here and is really stepping up to the plate.
Out to a spot, but Ronig wins the spot. Antolin, around and around again. Aiming win. Boom! Lets one go. Roach in the deep space. No call from the observer. Play goes on. Oregon's this.
Roach, remember, you're in an observed game, not a ref's game. If you think that's a foul, you have to call it.
Oh.
That was a bad like, responsive push on that.
They thought they're in the UFA.
Exactly, right? Like those are two players that are like playing like they're in the UFA. This is a different rule set, right? Yeah. But you can see their responses kind of coming, oh, now I get 10 yards because there was a foul.
Yeah. Ooh.
What a beautiful inside shot.
McNichols. Woo!
That second slice and dice, like the two of them, those inside shots, those like gut inside shots were just so well placed, had such excellent placement. Really like laser cut through the defense. Strong, strong work from Oregon.
Jacob Arts collects it for Oregon. Score of 12-9 now. Just about halfway through our mixed portion.
think something that's really fun to watch is like the cohesion within the programs. You know, like, yes, this is the second year of the iteration of this iteration of Northwest Cup, but like there have been sort of mixed showcase games that have been happening with teams from Oregon and Seattle that have gone back years and years, right? Like I played in one of the first ones when I was still playing.
I remember that game.
And it is such an incredible opportunity to like have these teams and the communities that they put together.
For sure.
And there are still sometimes misconnections as your, new groups of players are learning each other. Important scoring opportunity for Oregon to close this gap.
John Lee. Oh. Boom. Seattle gets it back. Gemma Monk putting it out. Oh, not enough air on that one. Nobis agreeing with the foul call.
Definitely a foul.
Yes.
There's a lot of contact there.
Good pump fake. Hits the under. Good control, pulling up there. Around to John Lee. Ooh. Out to a spot, and Oregon able to capitalize.
Winterbottom, nicknamed Yeti, with that score.
That nickname makes sense.
I think that what Oregon is showing here is that when they can place their throws, that's when they're finding offensive success in this mixed format. And so like we saw in that possession, it was a lot of, like shaped throws. Same thing with all the, the inside lasers from their previous scoring. It is, it is the shape. It is like here it was mostly outside in throws into a spot, but when they're able to, instead of the kind of floaty thing, put it to a player who's broken away and created like separation for themselves, that's how Oregon is finding success. And if they can keep doing that, they're going to be able to close this gap.
Big lofty pull. Crashes down. Mimac center two. Here's Sweeney. The lefty. Off the hands of Mimac. Ooh! Oregon with a chance to bring it to within one. The Northwest Cup is heating up. Good pivot around. Boom! Oregon closing the gap. 12-11. Just under 8 minutes left. Seattle better wake up.
This is a big momentum shift, right? Oregon is only down by 1. 8 minutes left, like unresponded goals. Oregon has the momentum right now. So you can see that Seattle is sort of like, oh, where do we go from here? And again, we talked about how concentration matters. Earlier, I was talking about how concentration mattered for the Seattle players living closer geographically together so they had more experience playing. But now I actually think it's an advantage for Oregon in this mixed setting that they have fewer players rostered here. So those specific players are getting these reps in real time, and they are doing a better job learning from each other and iterating off of each other because they're getting, each individual player is getting more reps in the moment.
We'll see if Seattle can respond here. Jason Lee. Malign. Ooh. Nice Crowley. No call. Oregon looking to tie it up. Wow, a laser. Nobody home.
Trying to send it back to Getty, going deep, but needs more touch.
Essentially a punt here. Morad. Good around forehand. Here's Spencer loafing. Oof. Jesse Crowley busy in this point. Mason Lee. Spencer loafing. Good pump fake. Oh, trying to thread the needle across the field to Malign.
Scatina did a phenomenal job reading that to pick that off.
Sure. Oregon with another chance here. Jason Lee with the stat. That's a block. 6 minutes remaining. Seattle up by 1. Us. Ooh. Too much sauce. Timeout called. Oregon's disc.
This game is close. It is so much closer than the game last year. You know, like last year, Seattle, like how poetic would this be, right? Seattle went down to Oregon, went down to Eugene, and on Oregon's turf won the Northwest Cup. And now Oregon's coming up to Seattle. Like, can they do the same thing that on Seattle's turf? Can they steal that Northwest Cup back? And, you know, right now, the momentum is definitely in their favor. 5 minutes left, down by 1. But Oregon scored 3 of the last 4 points. I think there's just, you know, like, yes, the home crowd is here for Seattle. Like, how is Seattle going to leverage that advantage?
Yeah, they definitely got to reactivate the crowd here. They're not quiet, but not as loud as they once were.
I think the word that comes to mind for me is complacent, right? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, like, we're up.
Yeah.
Whereas Oregon is playing hungry and is really going for things, right? That they have something to prove, and that is making the difference in this game right now. Game clock has been reset to 5:45 because of when the timeout was called.
McNichols. Ooh, off the bobble. PX comes down with it. Spalding to Martin. Mahan. Garrett Martin out to a spot. Ooh! Oh. Zhao unable to come down with it. Foul being called. Discussion.
It does look like Arts is, you know, kind of threw out his hands, palm up, which makes me think there might be a no contest. But, you know, and Arts certainly has played a lot of mixed ultimate, so, like, has a lot of experience in this situation. Zhao is typically a fairly short-handed player. Bringing in, asking the observer for their ruling. Like no foul. So Oregon disc.
That was a good job going through the process, though. Torres connects down the field. PX putting it out there. Oh, unfortunate.
That one unquestionably was on Zhao. I think that's definitely like right. Like this is the first WL game for her, kind of getting some of those nerves out. Nice shot.
Hey, give me that. Spalding.
Third in the air block or sort of pressure block from Spalding this game.
Oh, out on a platter. What do you got? Oh, Torres.
Torres is doing so much work for this team right now. It is unbelievable. We are now tied up under 4 minutes to go. If this game remains tied, we will go into overtime following the WL rule set. So there will be 4 minutes of clock time. There will be another coin flip. Home team will make the call, and the winning team of the coin flip will pick whether they receive or pull, or the end zone that they wish to defend, and the other team will get the remaining choice. So you can look forward to the potential for an extended mixed period if we keep holding this at the end of regulation.
Ooh. Heads or tails?
Both. Why are you making me choose?
I don't know. I'm just asking. What would you choose?
6-7.
Exactly.
Because we're at 12-12, and you never know what's going to happen next.
4 minutes remaining. Seattle getting the disc. Cheryl Sue clearing it out over the top. Remersa. Woo! Belfield now. Cheryl Sue. Back to Belfield. Remersa keeps that toe in bounds. And Seattle gets back on the scoreboard emphatically.
In the couple years that Remersa wasn't playing with Tempest, one of the things that I miss most is her ability to do just that. Remersa, better than almost anyone I know, can toe a line and make these beautiful, like, body awareness catches. And I think that's so, like, pinpoint Remersa play, and is, like, truly one of the strengths that she brings to this program. And, like, you get these highlight reel plays out of her, and so that, like, this is just a taste of what we're going to get this season.
Nom, 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 nom.
Seattle now in the lead, but that was an important point, right? It was a clean point. They were able to move the disc, even if some of them were sort of like, you know, they weren't necessarily the most open shots. Players are allowed to be athletic and make athletic type plays. Great.
Also, I want to note that like how the play started was Cascades player clearing for a Tempest player. Oh, catch it. Just kidding. Inbounds.
Well, if you think about the score at the end of the UFA period versus the Tempest period, like arguably the Tempest is, forgive my English, more stronger than Soar than the Cascades are than the Steel. Because that was not, you know, like Steeler, if you just go by that first period, Steel won. So, it strategically makes sense to highlight the Tempest players in this situation.
Just a little behind Amy Nguyen. First year Tempest player. Barham around the horn. Yeti connects. Keeping it in bounds. Oh. Wow. What a shot. Oh.
I think it was a great shot, had the potential to connect, and I also think that strategically it was also a good play. With just over 2 minutes left, like, you're now asking this Tempest Cascades roster to work it down this full field, which they haven't been shown that they can do consistently right now. Oregon doing a good job clogging up the middle, right, on those handlers, kind of in those lanes to create more separation from the handlers and cutters, making it so that it's hard for those handlers to get it downfield. So they're having to just kind of play junk, which is exactly what you're seeing right now. Or play in the backfield.
Drea Baroma gets it under. Seattle's in motion now. Thought about it. Had Louis going. Baroma the handler. Lynn a little over the top, but Lynn comes down with it. Through the middle. Bobo sends it. It's dropping. Megan Louis drew the attention.
Gordon again with that deep block.
The crowd lets him hear it again. Uh-oh. Amy Nguyen. Ooh. Ooh. Through the middle. Tommy Lynn. Seattle back up by 2, under 2 minutes remaining. The Northwest Cup. Is it staying home? We'll find out.
It's dicey. It's close.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's starting to play like they have something to lose. I don't think that they are playing like they can win something, but I do think that they are starting to realize, oh no, if we don't step it up, we are going to lose. Mm-hmm. But I like love the hunger that Oregon is playing with right now.
That was definitely a crowd favorite moment for Megan Louis. You could really feel the crowd wanting it. But all's well that ends well. Seattle with the score.
Not that we're biased up here in the commentator booth or anything.
No. Just the city of champions. Go Hawks.
Mariners in the finals.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a good year for Seattle.
Great year. John Lee, arguably one of the best years. We'll see if the ultimate teams can add on to that. Oregon, 1:30 on the clock, looking to get back into this. Elvis. Ooh, thought about letting it rip. Murray connects. Nobis keeps. Oh no. Thought it was called out. Oregon with a gift.
Rookie move by Nobis.
No. We'll see if he can get it back.
That was a gift.
Literally given right back to him. On the doorstep, Seattle.
doing work right now.
20 seconds. Seattle with the disc. And no rush to pick it up.
So this is that opportunity where the rule set matters. 8 seconds, you need to keep possession to end this game. You don't have to score, but you need to keep possession.
0's on the clock. The cup. No longer in balance, but can Seattle end it with a goal? And they can, oh my goodness. What an exclamation point.
Sammy Della Plenta with that game-winning score after time has expired. What a phenomenal way to end this game.
Boom. Cascades over the Oregon outfit.
Seattle keeps the Northwest Cup in Seattle, wins the 2026 edition of the Northwest Cup. What a phenomenal battle between these programs. I love how much community and cohesion and just like love and respect you can really see as so evident between the Oregon program within themselves and between the Seattle program within themselves, but also with each other, right? This game was not played with spite. It was played with appreciation. And that is such a beautiful thing to see. Like, it wraps you up and gives you that warm hug. Look at this gigantic high five line, all of the smiles, all of the appreciation. Like, this is what athletics is meant to be.
Yeah, the Battle of I-5 is all love up here. Northwest, man, I can't wait for the season for both these teams. We'll see where everybody ends up. I'm Zigno Zag.
I'm Charlie Mercer.
And we'll see you down the road.